यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज विहारी Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Ram. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Ram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Ram. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Vrindavana Ram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavana Ram. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Om Shripada Paramahansa Prabhupada Ashtotar Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Shripada Paramahansa Prabhupada Ashtotar Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrind ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की वैष्णव वृंदावन धाम की माया पूर्णावती धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Shri Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So devotees can please come forward. So all the Prabhus can come forward. Matajis, please come forward. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 13th chapter, verse number 43. But today we will be discussing Balaram Katha. So yesterday, day before yesterday was Balaram Purnima. So let us understand the Tattva of Balaram, the glories of Sri Balaram Prabhu. So from the version of the Acharyas. So today we will be mainly discussing about the glories of Balaram Tattva and Balaram Prabhu. So Sri Balaram is the source of all spiritual strength. So therefore we have to pray at the lotus feet of Lord Balaram so that we can continue on the path of devotional service. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnanjana-shalakaya Chakshurumiritamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayamrupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Mandeham Shri Gurum Shri Tapatakamanam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sarvajatam Sargana-ramanatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sargana Dalita Shri Vishakamitamsya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Balaram Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. So what is the difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram? Anybody can tell me what is the difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram? What Srila Prabhupada says? Yeah. Both are the same Prabhus, but the difference is only in the color. So the first expansion of the Supreme Lord is Lord Balaram, and Lord Balaram, though he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, takes the role of serving the Supreme Lord. So he is the representation of the original Guru. So he is the representation of Guru Tattva. So a real Guru is one who shows how to serve the Supreme Lord. He does not tell us how to become God. A real Guru is one who shows us how to serve the Supreme Lord. So that's the reason Lord Balaram, by his own personal example, he shows us how to serve the Supreme Lord. So when he took the incarnation as Lakshmana, so when Lord appeared as Lord Sri Ramachandra in Treta Yuga, so Balaramji appeared as his younger brother as Lakshmana. So as we all know that Lord Rama was banished to the forest for a period of 14 years. So Lakshmana did not say that anyway, my dear brother, so this shouldn't have happened with you. So anyway, we'll meet after 14 years. Lakshmana said that. What did Lakshmana say? Lakshmana said, I am always with you. So wherever you go, whether you are in forest, whether you are in the palace, wherever you are, I am there as your servitor. So Lakshmana was there with Lord Ramachandra Prabhu. So he said, you are going to forest, I am there with you to serve you. So they were banished to the forest for a period of 14 years. Lord Ramachandra Prabhu along with Mother Sita, so they left for the forest. So and what was Lakshmana doing? So he was always in the front, so making way for Lord Rama and Lord Rama and Sita Devi. So he was cutting the bushes, making the way for them. So he used to pick up the thorns, he used to take out the pebbles, he used to make sure that Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi, they were comfortable, they were not, even though the thorns would prick to him, he would not allow the thorns to be pricked by Lord Rama and Sita Devi. So this is the kind of service he rendered. So when he went to Chitrakoot, see, he prepared a thatched hut for them. So when Lord Rama and Sita would go to sleep, what was Lakshmana doing? So he was guarding them throughout the night. So almost for 14 years he did not sleep. So service personified. So he's showing by his own example how one should serve the Supreme Lord. So he's setting an example. So in the spiritual world, so Lord Balaram expands as the Dham, he expands as the Vaikuntha Dham. So he expands as the bed of the Lord, the shoes of the Lord, the paraphernalia of the Lord. He expands himself as the umbrella of the Lord, Shamara of the Lord, so and bed of the Lord, the footrest of the Lord. So completely into the mode of serving the Lord. So this is the mode of Lord Balaramji, and we have to learn this mode of servitorship. So the Lord is teaching by his own personal example as to how we should take the mood of a servitor. So and always happy in serving the Lord. Every service he takes up enthusiastically and serves the Lord. So this is the mode we have to carry. So and Lakshmana, she was performing the service on behalf of the Lord. So, and this is the mood. But he had to perform many more great services for the Lord, and it was also very painful, especially so when Mother Sita was tested by Lord Ram. So in Rameshwaram, the Lord asked him to set up a pyre so that Mother Sita can enter the pyre and test her and testify her chastity. This was very, very painful for Lakshmana to do. So, but he as an younger brother was duty bound to follow the orders of Lord Ram. So again, when after they came back to Ayodhya, so on the words of a washerman, so he had to banish Mother Sita to forest. And that was another painful situation for Lakshmana, because to banish Mother Sita, though he was it was a painful situation for him, he had to follow the orders of Lord Rama, because Lord Rama was his elder brother. So what did Lord Lakshmana thought? Now I am his younger brother, I have to follow whatever he says. I have no other choice. From next incarnation, I will not be his younger brother. I will be his elder brother. So though in the next incarnation, he became Balramji, Dauji. So he became his elder brother. So in the Krishna Leela, he performed various services on behalf of the Supreme Lord. So we can see, though he was acting as his elder brother, so in many instances he used to serve the Supreme Lord. So, and Lord Krishna also knew that Balramji is my elder brother now, I cannot order him. So therefore, in many pastimes we can see that Lord Krishna would not have Balaram in his pastimes. Like in Brahma Vimohana Leela, we can see that Balramji was not involved. So he was there at home that day when he performed the Brahma Vimohana Leela. So, and to everybody's surprise, so everybody, Lord Brahma, what did he do? He captivated all the cowherd boys. So he put them in the Yoga Nidra. So then he also stole all the calves. So and the calves were also stolen, so that Brahmaji thought that Krishna will become bewildered. He'll start searching for the cows, he'll start searching for the calves, he'll start searching for his boyfriends, and finally he will come and beg forgiveness from Lord Brahma. But what happened in Brahma Vimohana Leela? The Lord expanded himself into the calves. So the Lord expanded himself into the cowherd boys to the extent that nobody could identify, so that they were the cowherd boys. He imitated their psychophysical nature exactly like the boys. Psychophysical nature also. Not only their bodily features, but also the psychophysical natures, their in the sense that people will have certain activities. So he imitated them also, to the extent that even their parents could not identify them. Even the mother cows could not identify their own calves. So especially the cows are very dear to their calves. They can very easily identify which calf is mine and which calf is the other calf. But they also could not identify that the Lord had expanded himself into the calves, and he exactly imitated their psychophysical nature also. So everybody can get bewildered by the Yoga Maya of the Lord. But Lord Balaram, even Lord Balaram was also mesmerized by this pastime. Even he was also into the Yoga Maya. He was under the Yoga Maya potency of the Lord. So, but finally 1 week before Lord Balaram, the boys, the Brahma Vimohana Leela would conclude, Lord Balaram could identify that this was the pastime of the Lord. How did he identify? All the cows were running towards the elderly calves. So actually usually the elderly calves are not fed by the cow. So they became so affectionate towards the calves that they all ran towards their younger calves, the elderly calves also. And they were feeding them. So and even the gopas, they were feeling lot of affection for their own children. Because who was taking the role of their children? So that's the reason even out this was completely mesmerizing to them. So how come we are becoming so much affectionate towards our own children? How come we are becoming so affectionate towards our own calves? So then Balaram thought there is something wrong, some Leela has happened. So he went and checked with Krishna. Krishna, there is something wrong here. You have done something. So you have to tell me, you have to reveal this pastime to me, what happened. So then Krishna revealed the entire Brahma Vimohana Leela pastime to him. So it was just 1 week. Why Krishna performed this pastime? Why Lord Balaram was not informed about this pastime? Can anybody tell me? Why Lord Balaram was not informed about this pastime? And why he was, and how come just 1 week before he revealed this pastime to him? Because the Lord thought that if Balaramji comes to know that Lord Brahma has stolen all these calves and all his cowherd boyfriends were not there, then he will feel very bad. So that's the reason. So he did not want Lord Balaramji to feel bad. So that's the reason he kept this Leela. He did not uncover this Leela to Balaramji, and he almost made him wait for a week before 1 year. So at the end of 1 year, he could identify. Everybody can be bewildered by the Maya Shakti of the Lord. So even including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, everybody can be bewildered, but not Lord Balaram. So, but in this particular Leela, the Lord so mesmerized even Balaram. Hare Krishna. So this is about the Brahma Vimohana Leela. So and there are many demons in the childhood pastimes of the Lord, that there were specific demons who were killed specifically by the Lord. So like Dhenukasura, then we have Pralambasura, then we have, who was the other devil? Vivida. No, Nagasura was killed by Krishna. Vivida the gorilla. So these three pastimes we can discuss now. So we'll start with the pastime of Pralambasura. So, and we have to understand this pastime in the perspective of what the acharyas are trying to say. There are great learnings from these great pastimes which was performed by Lord Balaram, because so certain demons, certain desires in the heart, they are all representatives of certain demons. So especially Pralambasura. So Pralambasura was killed by Lord Balaram, and he is the representation of the gross and the subtle lust. So the gross and the subtle inclination, the gross inclinations for lusty desires in the heart are the representation of Pralambasura, and also the subtle desires for personal gain, so name, fame, adoration. So these are all representation of the subtle lusty desires. There are gross lusty desires and subtle lusty desires, and these desires can be overcome only by the mercy of Shri Guru. So only by the mercy of Lord Balaram. So that's the reason Lord Krishna wanted Balaramji to specifically finish these demons, especially Pralambasura, who is a representation of the gross lusty inclinations, and also the subtle lusty desires in the form of personal gain, name, fame and reputation. So therefore, Balaramji, so he had Pralambasura, one particular Gopa, so cowherd boy, he was not present on that particular day. So therefore, Pralambasura disguised himself in the form of that cowherd boy. So and he entered the group of Krishna and Balaram. So Krishna also welcomed him. Please come, please come. So you think Krishna did not know who he was? So he invited him, please come and join our group. So we are most fortunate to have you in our group. So therefore that boy entered group of Krishna and Balaram, the cowherd boys. So, especially when you don't know who is your enemy, the enemy is very powerful. So, unless you know who your enemy is. And Pralambasura was the first terrorist. So he wanted to take away Krishna and Balaram from us. So from the group of the cowherd boys. So he had disguised himself as a cowherd boy and had entered the group. Now Krishna and Balaram, so they are the source of all playful acts. So whatever the children play different kinds of plays, they are all originating from Krishna and Balaram only. So today they were playing the game of tug and war. So, and there were two parties. One party was on the side of Krishna and another party was on the side of Balaram. So this Pralambasura was very afraid of Krishna. He knew that Krishna was very powerful. So he wanted to take the side of Krishna, and on the other side, other party was on the side of Balaram. So they were playing tug of war, and finally the party which is going to win has to carry the losers on their back. So this was the outcome of the game. So they were playing tug of war, and finally which party won? So Balaram's party won. So therefore Krishna's party had to carry everybody on their backs. So Krishna carried who? Krishna carried Sridharma and Balaram carried Pralambasura. Pralambasura carried Balaramji on his back. So here the Pralambasura was carrying away Balaramji, and he assumed his original form, and he was running so fast away from the crowd that he was almost very, very far away. So from the group of cowherd boys. So then Lord Balaramji also became as heavy as the Meru mountain. So, and he had to assume his original form. So with a golden helmet, with a coppery hair and copper eyes. So it became very huge. So and finally it was like the thunderbolt carrying a moon. This is the description given by Prabhupada in the Krishna book. So that the Pralambasura carrying Lord Balaram was like a thunderbolt carrying the moon. So then, such a beautiful description. So here we see that Pralambasura is a representation of the gross and subtle lusty inclinations. So therefore, these lusty inclinations and lusty desires in the heart, they will carry us away from Krishna and Balaram. They will take us away from Krishna and Balaram. So that's the lesson what we have to learn. So only by the mercy of Lord Balaramji that these lusty inclinations and lusty desires for personal gain, name, fame and reputation can be overcome. So therefore, when he was carrying, what did Lord Balaram do? He hit the demon on the head. So, and within one punch, so the demon was finished and he collapsed to the ground. So therefore, what we are supposed to do? So, as the representation, Balaram is the representation of Sri Guru. If the devotees have to overcome these lusty inclinations and lusty desires in the heart and finally take the shelter and the service of the Supreme Lord, then we have to follow this punching of the demon is compared to the instructions of the Sri Guru. So when we take the instructions of Sri Guru very seriously, so then we will be able to overcome this demon of lusty desires and lusty inclinations. So for lusty inclinations and personal gain, name, fame and reputation. So and we will be able to serve the Lord sincerely. So this is the lesson what we have to take from the story of Pralambasura. So then all the boys cheered, Balaramji, Balaramji, Balaramji ki jai, Daoji ki jai. So then they all invited Balaram as if a dead person has come to life. So they all felt relieved that Lord Balram ji has been saved. So then we will take up another pastime of the Lord. So a very, very important pastime, the story of Dvivida. So who was this Dvivida? Anybody knows who was this demon Dvivida? How he became a demon? So that's a very interesting story. It's a very, very interesting story for us to know. It's a very, very important pastime for all the devotees to know this wonderful pastime of the Lord. And this Dvivida was a gorilla. So what is the background of this demon? This Dvivida was a great hero in Ramayana. So he had fought on the side of Lord Rama. So he helped Lord Rama in the pastime in the Ramayana Leela. So but how such a great devotee who had helped the Lord, he was one of the major generals. So amongst many generals, he was also one of the generals. He had a big responsibility. So all the plan of the war, the strategy of the war, everything was discussed with Dvivida. Dvivida was also one of the major generals. So he was highly respected, he was highly adored. So this adoration and respect what he got, so made him very proud. So therefore he took Lakshman ji also lightly, because Lakshmana became fainted in the war by the arrow of Indrajit. So and finally Hanumanji had to bring the Sanjeevani Jadibuti from Himalayas, and finally Lakshmana was restored back to life. So he thought, so Lakshman ji is also an ordinary personality. He is also infallible. He is also fallible, like any of the ordinary living entities. So he took him lightly, and he offended Lakshmana. He offended Lakshmana, who is a representative of Shri Guru. And he also offended the other devotees of the Lord. So he also offended the other Vaishnavas. So what will happen to one who offends the Shri Guru and also offends the Vaishnavas? What will happen to them? It's very, very interesting to note. If they offend the devotees of the Lord, if we offend the Vaishnavas, so you will develop desires for associating with evil-minded people. So therefore, Dvivida developed this inclination for evil-minded association, and therefore he developed association with Banasura, Narakasura. So they became his friends. So when Dvivida became the associate of Banasura and Narakasura, what happened to them? What happened to Banasura and Narakasura? When they were already envious of the Lord. So therefore, Dvivida, in the association of Banasura and Narakasura, he started offending the Lord. So especially people who are offenders of the Lord, they become envious of the Brahminical culture. Though they become envious of the Varnashrama Dharma. So he started causing trouble to the Brahmanas. He started causing trouble to the cows. He started killing the cows, Brahmanas. So, and also he was very, very powerful. He went into the ocean. He created huge waves. So by clasping his hands, he started creating tsunamis. The nearby coastal areas all got flooded with water. So and they were submerged into the water. So he was creating many such disturbances in the nearby areas. And finally, when he was creating such disturbances, he finally came across the Raivata mountain. So where Lord Balaram was performing his pastimes with his own set of gopis. So Balaram has his own set of gopis and Krishna has his own set of gopis. So he was performing his pastime with his own set of gopis and this gorilla. So he saw that Lord Balaram was performing this pastime and he became envious of Lord Balaram. So he wanted to disturb them. So he climbed a branch of a tree So and he was shouting, Kila, Kila. So he was making huge noises. So he wanted to draw the attention of all the gopis towards him. So therefore he was making these noises. So and the gopis they were all young girls. And usually the young girls take everything in a joking manner. So they also took it in a joking manner and they were laughing at him. So he came towards them. He was trying to show his private parts. So everything is happening in the presence of Lord Balaram. He was trying to pull their Angavastra, all that. So and Lord Balaram became very angry with Vivida. And he threw a stone at him, stone at Vivida. So and Vivida became angry with Balaram. What did he do? He uprooted a huge tree and went to attack Lord Balaram. So immediately within a second, he removed all the foliage of the tree, made it like a gada, and he went and hit Balramji. So he hit Balaram on the head, but Balramji was unfazed. Nothing happened to Balramji. So, and then again he became very angry. He uprooted another tree, so and again started attacking Balaram. So, and Balramji, he was breaking all the trees into pieces, just like there was a baseball match or a cricket match. So he was trying to hit Lord Balaram with the trees, and Lord Balaram with his mace used to break all the trees into pieces. So until all the trees in the area became completely uprooted. So, and finally there were only stones left. So he started throwing the stones at Balaramji, and Balaram with his mace powdered all the stones. So finally Lord Balaram threw his club, and both of them had a physical fight. So and finally he hit him in the collarbone. So Lord Balaramji hit him in the collarbone, and Vivida was finished. So this is the end of Vivida the gorilla. So somebody may be a very wonderful devotee. So somebody may be doing very wonderful service for the pleasure of the Lord. So one thing we have to be very careful, and very careful in spiritual life, that we are doing great services, we can offend devotees, we can offend Sri Guru. So we can offend Sri Guru, we can offend the Vaishnavas. So if we start doing such things in spiritual life, then we will have desires for evil-minded association. Then our spiritual life is completely finished. So therefore, this Vivida was a great servitor of the Lord in his previous pastime, in the pastime of Ramalila. But the same person becomes an enemy of the Lord in his next pastime. So when performing, so Lord Balaramji can never take on pride. So this one thing we have to always observe, that Lord Balaram never as Sri Guru, he does not like pride in a person. So pride cometh before the fall. There is a saying in Bible. So pride comes before the fall down of a person. So therefore we have to be very careful that we should not be overtaken by pride. So pride of doing great services, pride of our own strength, pride of our own name, fame, prestige. So we should be very, very careful with all these different inclinations for personal gain, adoration, pride. So Lord can never take it up. So at any point of time, we can see that what happened to Dvivida, though he was a servitor of the Lord, he lost all his good qualities, all his devotional qualities, and became a demon. So this is another pastime of Dvivida. So we'll take another pastime of Lord Balaramji. We are all ready to hear? So the another pastime of Lord Balarama. So this was in connection with the marriage of Samba. So Samba was the son of Jambavati. So he Duryodhana had organized a Swayamvara for her daughter Lakshmana. So she was the only daughter. So, and Samba was interested in marrying Lakshmana. So therefore, so he went to the Swayamvara. So in the Swayamvara, what happened in the Swayamvara, he understood that Lakshmana was not interested in marrying him. So therefore, he kidnapped Lakshmana and he ran away with her. So he was running away on the chariot, and all the warriors from the Kuru dynasty, they also followed him. There was a war between Samba and the warriors of the Kuru dynasty. So it was a wonderful war. And Samba, though he was a very young boy, he showed his dexterity and his skills in the war field, and they were all surprised by his talent on the war field. So they were amazed at his talent. So, but finally he was captivated by them. So he was taken as a prisoner. So and finally Narada Muni passed on this message to Krishna. So and Balaram. So Balaramji said, anyway, nothing to worry, I will go and pacify the Kauravas, so I will bring Samba back. So who all went with Uddhava and all the Yadu warriors, they all went with Balaramji, so to Hastinapur. So finally, so Balaramji tried to pacify them, so all the Kuru elders along with Duryodhana, so and Bhishma Dev, Dhritarashtra, everybody came. So on the outskirts of the Hastinapur, so Lord Balaramji met. Whom did he meet? So meet the Kuru elders. So they said, anyway, whatever happened has happened. So it was wrong on your part to capture Samba. So anyway, whatever has happened now. Now I will forgive you. So only thing what you are supposed to do is return Samba back to us along with Lakshmana. We will take them back. So then the elders of the Kuru dynasty, so along with Duryodhana, they all felt insulted. So they felt that they were superior and the Yadus were inferior to them. So they said that, so you are all living under our care and shelter. So how come? So you are using our flag, you are using our insignia. Insignia means symbol. So you are using all our paraphernalia, you are using it under our privilege. So you are taking the privilege of having our connection with the Hastinapur and using all these facilities. So how can the shoes try to take the place of a crown? So this is the words actually literally used by the Kauravas. So to belittle the Yadus. So Lord Balaram became very angry. So you think you have become so proud of your wealth and possessions, you are taken over by the pride of your wealth, and all the wealth and whatever positions you have has brought so much pride in you that you are thinking that you are more than Krishna, you are more than Ugrasena. So Lord Shiva and Brahma personally come and offer obeisances at Ugrasena. You think you have become greater than Balaram, Lord Krishna. So you have become so proud of your strength and prestige and positions that you are not able to see who Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram are. So now I am going to teach you a lesson. So they told all this and they left. So Lord Balaram, for whoever, all the assembled citizens, he declared, so these people have become too proud of their positions. Now I will show what their position is. So he asked Mother Ganga to expand herself so that she can swallow the whole of Hastinapur. So Lord Balaramji took his hala, he demarcated the entire Hastinapur with his hala. So, and separated the entire Hastinapur from the face of the earth. And he started dragging the entire Hastinapur towards Mother Ganges. And he asked Mother Ganges to swell to the extent that she can swallow the whole Hastinapur. So all the Kuru elders, they came running towards, where did they come running? To the lotus feet of Balaramji. So they all come and begged forgiveness. So my Lord, we have understood our position. So just to, so we understood what is our fault. We have understood what is our position. We are all living at your mercy. We understand what is your position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We understand the position of Krishna. So just wanted to increase your glory. That's the reason we wanted to have this pastime. So then they all begged forgiveness, and Balramji said, okay. So I am pacified with you. So I am satisfied with you. So now send Lakshmana and Samba with us. So, and Duryodhana also fell at the feet of Balramji and said, I am going to give a huge dowry. So to satisfy all of you. So, and they gave a huge dowry to Samba and sent the whole entourage to Dwarka. So this is the wonderful pastime of our Lord Balaramji. So Balaramji does not accept pride in a person. He can never take on pride. So the Guru can accept anything, but he cannot take the pride in a person. So this is one more story. So one more pastime where the Lord is showing by his personal example that he can never take on pride. Hare Krishna. So anybody has any questions, any doubts? We have one more wonderful pastime of Lord Balaramji. So the story of Roma Harshana Sutta. So Roma Harshana Sutta, so he was a direct disciple of Vyasadeva. So Lord Balaram, so he did not want to take any side in the Kurukshetra war. Neither did he want to take the side of the Pandavas, neither did he want to take the side of the Kauravas, because he had some special inclination for Duryodhana, and he had a loving relationship with Yudhishthira. He loved Yudhishthira Maharaj so much that if I am there, both of them will try to pull me on either side, and I will not be in a position to take any of their sides. Better let me go on a pilgrimage. So he went on a pilgrimage. So when he was going on a pilgrimage, finally he passed through different places of pilgrimage on the side of Mother Ganges. So and finally he came to Naimisharanya. So where Roma Harshana Sutta was giving a discourse on Srimad Bhagavatam, and all the assembled sages, so they were all highly advanced souls, highly realized souls. So yet they were all willing to listen from Roma Harshana Sutta, because he was a direct disciple of Vyasadeva. So, and they wanted to hear from him the knowledge he has assimilated from the scriptures. So they were all very interested and waiting. So Lord Balaram enters the arena. All the assembled sages, they all come with the different gifts. They all offer obeisances to Balaramji, and they greet him, they welcome him, except for one person. So Roma Harshana Sutta, who was sitting on the Vyasasana. So he did not offer respects to Balaramji. So Lord Balaram became very angry with Roma Harshana Sutta. So he said, this person, so though he has performed so many austerities, though he has learnt all the Vedic scriptures, though he is the disciple of Vyasadeva, with all his learning and knowledge, he has not acquired any good qualities. So if with all our learning, if we don't acquire the good qualities, so then what is the use of such learning? You don't understand who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are many people who are scholars, who are PhD holders. They have done PhDs on Vedic scriptures. So some people have acquired PhDs on the philosophy of Jiva Goswami. So they have acquired PhDs on Srimad Bhagavatam. So they have acquired PhDs on many specific topics from the Vedic scriptures. But they don't understand the essence of these Vedic scriptures. After understanding, after so much learning, if you don't become humble, if you don't understand who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what is the use of such learning? So then, taking a straw in his hand, he chanted the mantra of Brahmastra and killed Roma Harshana Sutta. So, but all the assembled sages, so they all requested Balaramji. So we had all blessed him to become So, Dirgayu. So, in this sense, we had offered our blessings so that he can have a long life and give us a discourse on Srimad Bhagavatam. So then what we can do? So then Balramji said, so if you want me to bring him back to life, I am willing to bring him back to life. You are all okay with that? They said, no. So we don't want also that to happen. So then they said that there is one more devotee. One more devotee in the sense, the son of Romaharshana Sutta, Sutta Goswami. You please offer your blessings to Sutta Goswami. So bless him with a long life. So Sutta Goswami was also had heard Srimad Bhagavatam from directly Parikshit, Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So he was made the head of the assembly and he started the discourse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Lord can never take pride in a person, and pride is the biggest enemy of the conditioned soul. By sincerely and humbly serving Sri Guru, so who is a representative of Balaram, so we can develop all these wonderful qualities. We should be very, very careful with this one thing, the pride. So the pride of our association with the material, the matter, the material position, the material opulences, especially the pride which comes from material opulence is very, very dangerous. So we don't mind offending Vaishnavas, we don't mind offending Mahabhagavatas. So we see that in the case of Nalakuvara and Manigriva, they became so proud, they didn't even care to respect Narada Muni. And finally, they were blessed. It's not a curse, they were blessed by Narada Muni. So, but what pride can do is very, very dangerous. So that's the reason we have to pray at the lotus feet of the Lord. So lotus feet of Lord Balaramji. So take the instructions of Sri Guru very seriously, humbly serve. So today is very, very important, and we are celebrating our first Janmashtami here in Medley Center. So all the devotees are having a great opportunity to perform various services on behalf of the Lord. See, the Lord is not only pleased when we perform services, so He is also interested in the bhava, the mood in which we serve the Lord. So we may be serving the Lord, but if we are offending the other devotees when we are doing service, so that is not pleasing to the Lord. So more than worshipping the Lord is interested in worshipping His devotees. More than feeding the Lord, feeding His devotees is very important. So feeding the devotees with the Lord says that when my devotees are pleased and when you offer footsteps to them and when they are satisfied by whatever you are offered, so I relish that satisfaction. So therefore, we are all given an opportunity to serve here. So we are all blessed. We are all connected to this great movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada. We have a wonderful opportunity to serve. So when we perform these services, we should also see that we are not causing any pain to the other Vaishnavas. So, and we serve with a humble mood, we serve with a humble attitude. So pride should not take over us. So we may be, seniors should accommodate juniors, and all the other devotees should accommodate, all our other devotees should all accommodate and give opportunity to other devotees to serve. So with a feeling of friendship and servitude, and with an intention that everybody becomes a nice servitor of this movement and Srila Prabhupada, we should all take up this service opportunity. So, and take this as a privilege. So we are given some service. Take this service as a privilege. Take this service as an advantage to serve Hari Guru Vaishnavas and please them. So at any point of time, pride should not overtake us. So and lose this great wonderful opportunity of serving Hari Guru Vaishnavas. Okay, and take always a humble position in serving the Lord. Hare Krishna. Radha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. So Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Radha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha Kulpataru Desicha. Upasyanti Devacha Patitana Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Requesting all the devotees kindly forgive me, pardon me if I have spoken anything offensive or causing harm or pain to any devotees. Hare Krishna. Please add in your prayers so that I can also be a part of your team and serve Shri Guru. Hare Krishna. So anybody has any doubts, any questions? Hare Krishna. Last life.
But he served Rama. After next he comes because of
Offending the Vaishnavas.
offending the
Vaishnavas.
he was killed by
Balram.
actually if memory is the devotional service also that will be counted by the Lord. Why the Lord has been killed? Sorry, why?
So killing is also another form of mercy. So that what happens sometimes a devotee offends in the association and Lord makes an arrangement that the devotee is taken out of the association for some time. Why this happens is because the devotee who has developed an attitude of offending other Vaishnavas, so will be taken out of the association so that he will not further commit more offences. To the extent that something like that happened to Dvivida should not happen to others. So Dvivida's example is a great example for all of us to learn. So why the Lord takes the devotee from the association is because he should not commit further offences and finally lose the mercy of the Lord and the devotees. So that is temporarily taken away. But whatever service that devotee has done for the Lord remains in his eternal credit. But that will become a frozen account. It will not be an active account. Suppose if you have an account and the account is frozen, so you cannot use the money in the account, right? It is frozen for some time. So till so whatever the formalities have to be complied with has been complied with, you cannot operate the account again. But whatever service you have done on behalf of the Lord is there in the account. This is there in your permanent credit, but that account has been frozen for some time, so that we learn our lessons, we become submissive, we understand our mistake, we do our prayaschitta, we understand, we come back with a mood of repentance and start serving the devotee association again. So these are all lessons for us to make our journey smooth going back home, back to Godhead, so that we should not get into trouble like this. So in the association of devotees, see, it's a great opportunity offered by the Lord, but at the same time we have to understand all these great lessons from the pastimes of the Lord, so that we don't repeat that mistakes, and lose this wonderful opportunity of serving the association of devotees. We'll learn in the association of devotees and go ahead in life. So take our spiritual journey forward, and not lose this opportunity. Okay? So, but whatever service you have done for the Lord is there in your permanent account. But when you offend devotees, when you do Vaishnava aparadh, it becomes a frozen account. Okay? Hare Krishna. But you will still continue from where till what, to the extent you have progressed, and Lord gives an opportunity when we learn our lessons. Okay. Hare Krishna. Should we learn a hard lesson way out, or we have to learn from the process of Shravana? So that's the reason we have to hear from the scriptures, we have to hear from the devotees and make our journey safe and secure. So what we want to secure? Do we want to secure our false prestige, false position, false pride, or we have to secure our service at the lotus feet of the Lord? It's a choice that has to be made by the Jiva. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any other doubts? Divya Mataji. It appears like a small mistake, but it is not a small mistake. So sometimes Romaharshana Sutta, he did not just offer, because it depends on who is making the mistake. Whether he is a new devotee, whether he is a neophyte devotee, whether he is a Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari, because the offense also becomes graver when a person who is supposed to who is supposed to teach others, he himself is committing a mistake. It is just like the Kshatriyas are supposed to offer protection to the four classes of men. They are supposed to offer protection to the old people, the children, women and cows. They are supposed to offer protection. If they themselves start committing this offense, then it becomes unpardonable. Right? So a person who is supposed to give a discourse on Srimad Bhagavatam to the assembled sages on Naimisharanya, he himself is not showing a proper conduct, he is not showing a proper etiquette, becomes an unpardonable offense. Hare Krishna. Fine? So, understood? Confused? Clear? So, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So, now the time is 10:30. So, we can all honor Dona Prasadam, we can go for Nagar Sankirtan.